A very good morning to all. Today we are going to continue with our fourth chapter, that is safety management, and we have concluded our previous lecture with the point fire hazard. So we will start with the same point again. So what is the definition of fire hazard? We have seen. I will repeat once again. So fire hazards are the workplace hazards that involves the presence of flame or the risk of an uncontrolled fire. So we have already seen what are the several examples due to which fire can occur, and it can spread with an uncontrolled rate. So few of the examples we have seen, which were live flames, spark, hot objects, flammable chemicals. So all these are the reasons due to which fire can take place. Again, we have seen these examples. So open flames used in various applications such as welding, electric wires or electrical equipments. Then again, heat generating appliances, smoking and the use of personal lighters or matches, improper or unauthorized storage of flammable and hazardous materials and chemicals. Then insufficient capacity and number of emergency exits and stairs, hindrance to the site for reaching the firefighting equipments and the alarm systems. Then again, insufficient numbers and types of fire extinguishers. And lastly, we have seen that the absence of fire detection and alarm system. So all these are the examples of fire hazards which are found in various workplaces. Now today we will start with a new point which is called as fire drill. So first we will see what is the definition of fire drill. So fire drill is a method of practicing how a building would be evacuated in the event of a fire. आता याचा अर्थ समजून घ्या. फायर ड्रिल म्हणजे काय, तर एखाद्या लोकेशनला जर आग लागलेली असेल तर त्या लोकेशन मधून जे वर्कर्स असणार आहेत त्यांनी कशा पद्धतीने सेफली बाहेर पडता येईल त्याला आपण म्हणतो सेफ इव्हॅक्युएशन. So basically you can say that fire drill is just a method of practicing that what the worker will do or what he should do in case of such emergency situation occurs. Normally the building's existing fire alarm system is activated and the building is evacuated as if the emergency has occurred. So whenever fire drill is conducted, more focus is given on how to avoid the loss of life. We are also having one animated video so that you will understand what is this concept of fire drill. So in this method you can observe that during the fire drill an alarm is activated, and thus the employees or the workers will came to know that there is some kind of emergency situation and they have to be immediately moved to a safer place. And if such kind of practice, that is fire drill, if it is not practiced in the industry, then the probability of causing threat to life of the workers will be increased. So in simple words we can say that due to this practice of fire drill, the workers will understand the knowledge regarding what actually they should do in such case of emergency situations. So with this practice of fire drill, the workers will be easily able to escape out of such emergency situation, and thus it is very important to have fire drill as per the duration which is given here. So in case of fire prone areas, the duration of fire drill they have given is once in 3 months. So fire prone areas means the place or particularly area where there are more chances of fire to take place. So it is necessary at such places that the workers are given this kind of fire drill practice once in 3 months. And for the rest of the places, that is other workplaces, the duration of fire drill is once in 6 months. It is important that you should keep in mind these durations because this might be asked in the MCQs. So this was regarding the duration of fire drill. Now let's see what are the objectives of fire drill. The first objective is giving the employees an opportunity to practice emergency procedures in simulated but safe environment. The second objective is determining if employees understand and can carry out emergency duties. The next objective is evaluating effectiveness of evacuation procedures. And the last objective is complying with requirements of local fire code. तर सिंपल शब्दात सांगतो, ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह मध्ये नेमकं काय सांगितलंय बघा. तर फायर ड्रिल म्हणजेच आपण एक प्रकारची प्रॅक्टिस टेस्ट घेतोय, ज्याच्यामध्ये आपण काय बघणार आहे, तर एखाद्या लोकेशनला एखाद्या एरियामध्ये जर आग लागलेली असेल तर अशा प्रकारच्या सिच्युएशन मध्ये वर्कर्स किती सेफली बाहेर पडणार आहेत, ह्याचं अनालिसिस पूर्ण केलं जाणार आहे. म्हणजे एक ट्रायल घेतली जाते ऍक्च्युअली. म्हणजे अलार्म सिस्टम मुद्दामून ऍक्टिव्हेट केला जातो आणि हे अलार्म ऍक्टिव्हेट झाल्यानंतर वर्कर्स किती इफेक्टिव्हली किंवा किती कमी वेळेत ते एका सेफर लोकेशनला जाऊन पोहोचतात. तर हे आपल्याला या फायर ड्रिल मधून समजते. त्याचबरोबर बाहेर पडण्यासाठी जो मार्ग किंवा जो रूट काय फायनल केलेला आहे त्याच्यामध्ये काही अडथळा येतात का नाही, हे सुद्धा आपल्याला या फायर ड्रिल किंवा या प्रॅक्टिस मध्ये आपल्याला समजून जाते. तर जी काही फायर ड्रिल मध्ये किंवा सेफ्टीसाठी जे काही लागणाऱ्या गोष्टी आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये काही प्रॉब्लेम्स असतील तर आपण ही फायर ड्रिल कंडक्ट केल्यामुळं ज्या काही अडचणी असणार आहेत पूर्ण या प्रोसेसमध्ये त्या अडचणी आपल्याला डिटरमाइन करून त्याच्यावरती काहीतरी ऍक्शन घेता येते. तर हे झालं ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह ऑफ फायर ड्रिल. Along with the objectives of fire drill, you should also know that what are the steps in fire drill. Communication with the local chief or fire marshal is very important in case of fire drill. Then again, an in-house safety committee has to be created. Then again, communication regarding the evacuation routes to all the workers at that particular location. Then again, alternative routes are supposed to be suggested if there is some case of any emergency on the route which has been decided. And lastly, it is necessary to conduct the fire drill regularly as per the duration given in the previous slide. So these are the steps for conducting the fire drill. Along with these steps, it is also important to know that what are the parameters which are focused while conducting this fire drill. So whenever the fire drill is conducted, then several parameters such as whether the individuals are closing the doors after exiting the rooms or not. Again, how the workers are behaving in such case of emergency situations, and how they are heading towards the exit. These parameters are also watched. Also, whether the workers are gathering or assembling at the designated point or not, this is also needs to be checked. So if all these things are happening as per the planning, then the next important parameter in fire drill will be to take a record regarding the total evacuation time required for the employees or workers to reach to that safer place. And then the record of this has to be kept or maintained. Now, if we talk about the advantages of fire drill, then we can see in this slide some of the points we have already discussed, but just we will go once again through all these points. So the first advantage is it ensures that people exit the building in a timely fashion and know the designated area. म्हणजेच बघा की प्रत्येक वर्कर जो असणार आहे त्या एरियामध्ये अशा प्रकारचे जर एखादी इमर्जन्सी सिच्युएशन ऑकर जर झाली तर त्या बिल्डिंग मधून सेफली कसं बाहेर पडता येईल कमीत कमी वेळामध्ये याची आयडिया प्रत्येक वर्करला येणार आहे फायर ड्रिलमुळे. त्यानंतर नेक्स्ट ऍडव्हान्टेज जो आहे तो पीपल विल नो द इव्हॅक्युएशन रूट्स. प्रत्येक वर्करचं जे काही वर्किंग लोकेशन असणार आहे म्हणजे सगळे वर्कर्स काही एकाच ठिकाणी कॉन्सन्ट्रेटेड नसणार आहेत आणि त्यामुळेच प्रत्येकाच्या लोकेशन नुसार वेगवेगळे इव्हॅक्युएशन जर रूट्स असतील, वेगवेगळे रस्ते असतील सेफर पोझिशनला किंवा सेफर प्लेसला जाण्यासाठी, तर त्या वर्करने कुठला रूट कन्सिडर केला पाहिजे सेफली कमीत कमी टाइम मध्ये बाहेर पडण्यासाठी, तर ह्याची देखील आयडिया त्या वर्करला येणार आहे. The next advantage is fire drills are an opportunity to practice evacuation procedures to make sure all involved are familiar with them. तर बघा, फायर ड्रिल कंडक्ट केल्यामुळं दरवर्षी इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये जे कोणी फ्रेशर्स असणार आहेत त्यांना सुद्धा ह्याची आयडिया येते की इमर्जन्सी सिच्युएशनमध्ये त्यांनी ॲक्च्युली काय काम केलं पाहिजे, कशा पद्धतीने सेफली बाहेर पडलं पाहिजे. तर ही आयडिया येण्यासाठी फायर ड्रिल महत्त्वाचं असणार आहे. The next advantage is fire drills are also helpful for testing escape routes to evaluate their effectiveness. बघा, जस्ट मागच्या स्लाइडला आपण हा पॉईंट डिस्कस केलाय की जे काही एस्केप रूट्स आपण डिफाईन केलेले आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये काहीतरी अडथळा जर असतील तर ते फायर ड्रिलमध्ये आपल्याला ट्रॅक करता येतात आणि त्याच्यावरती मग काहीतरी करेक्टिव्ह ॲक्शन घेता येते. The next advantage is due to fire drills we can ensure that alarm systems and fire safety equipments are in working condition. हा पॉईंट देखील खूप महत्वाचा आहे. बघा, जर फायर ड्रिल आपण कंडक्टच केली नाही आणि एक ठराविक वर्ष समजा काम व्यवस्थित चालू असेल आणि अचानक कधीतरी एखादी इमर्जन्सी सिच्युएशन आली आणि त्या केसमध्ये जर अलार्म सिस्टम टाइमली आपला सुरू झालाच नाही तर मग तिथे काम करणारे भरपूर वर्कर्स अडचणीत येऊ शकतात. त्याचबरोबर अशा प्रकारचे सिच्युएशन हँडल करण्यासाठी जे फायर सेफ्टी इक्विपमेंट्स आपण वापरणार आहे ते देखील व्यवस्थित काम करतात की नाही ह्याची आयडिया आपल्याला येणार नाही. त्यामुळेच फायर ड्रिल महत्वाचा आहे. The next advantage is that everyone is aware of how to get out of the working place in the quickest and safest way. कमीत कमी वेळेमध्ये सेफर पोझिशनला पोहोचणे याची आयडिया त्या वर्कर्सना येईल. आणि लास्ट ॲडव्हान्टेज जो आहे, आफ्टर मॉक ड्रिल इम्प्रूव्हमेंट कॅन बी सजेस्टेड टू हॅव इफेक्टिव्हनेस इन द इव्हॅक्युएशन प्रोसेस. तर फायर ड्रिल कंडक्ट केल्यानंतर आपण प्रत्येक एम्प्लॉईकडनं फीडबॅक घेऊ शकतो आणि त्या फीडबॅकमधून आपण अजून काहीतरी इम्प्रूव्हमेंट करण्याचे जर चान्सेस असतील तर त्याचा यूज करून आपण ते इम्प्रूव्हमेंट्स आपण इम्प्लिमेंट करू शकतो. So these were all the advantages of fire drill. Now after fire drill we will see what is the concept of work permit. So work permit is a documented format that authorizes certain people to carry out a specific work within a specified time phrase or areas. It sets out the precautions required to complete the work safely based on a risk management. So basically work permit simply means that if the worker is supposed to perform an activity or do a certain task at several locations where there is huge risk while performing that activity, then at such locations it is necessary that some safety precautions are taken, as well as the worker is also well trained enough to carry out that activity, and thus a kind of document is prepared which we call it as the work permit, and with the help of this document only the worker will be allowed to go at that particular location and carry out that task. So this document plays an important role which allows the worker to get access to that location. So we are going to see the several examples related to work permit in the further slides. But before going for that actual examples, we will first see what are the features of work permit. So you should also know the another name for work permit. It is also called as PTW, which simply means that permit to work. So you should also know the full form of PTW, which is nothing but permit to work. This permit to work form typically consists of the following points. So the first one is work to be done, the equipment to be used, and the person who is going to perform that activity. All these details are mentioned in that document. Then again, along with this, what are the precautions to be taken while performing that task? These precautions are also given in the same form. Then the next point, other work groups to be informed of work being performed in their area. So if that location is consisting of several departments working at the same place, then the other work groups are also to be required to be informed regarding the activity that is supposed to be carried out. The next thing that the form will include will be authorization for work to commence. So the form will have an appropriate signature from the higher authority who will be giving or delegating particular authority for the person to carry out that task. Then again, duration for that permit. So every work permit will have the duration. Then it may be for a month or 6 months, depending on what kind of activity is to be carried out. So that duration will be also mentioned in the same form. Then again, the next point, method to extend permit for an additional period. So if the task is not completed in the specified time, or suppose if the work is to be extended, then in such case the validity for that work permit can also be increased, and the procedure for increasing or extending this permit is also mentioned in the same form. And lastly, what are the actions to be taken in case of emergency? So these list of actions are also given in the work permit, so that if in case any emergency situation occurs, then in such case the worker can get help from this work permit. So these were the contents of the work permit form, and now we will see few examples where the work permit is necessary. So now we will see few examples along with the types of work permit. So the first type of work permit is hot work permit. It is used for any type of work or activity which produces a spark, flame, or heat, and therefore has the chance to cause a fire or other injuries. So just as shown in this diagram, you can see that when the particular activity is carried out, so a large amount of spark has been produced, and due to this spark there are chances that a particular location can catch fire, and it may harm the worker. So at such cases, it is necessary that the worker is well trained in what activity he is supposed to do, and accordingly he should allowed to work at that place. And along with this, all the safety measures such as helmet, goggles, or shields and gloves, all these kinds of safety devices are required to be used by that worker. Another type of work permit is called as excavation permit. So the excavation permits are used for excavations which can have tragic and catastrophic consequences when utilities and other hazards are not managed properly. So the actual meaning of excavation you should understand by just observing the below diagrams. So excavation is nothing but it is usually the act of the process of digging inside the earth crust in order to carry out the desired activity. So while performing this excavation work, the worker needs to be take several precautions, because the excavation work may expose hazardous materials or toxic substances, and it can also contaminate the soil. Also, the poorly planned excavation can result in damage to underground services such as the electrical lines, or the natural gas lines, water lines, and the drainage system. And the consequences of such kind of damage, it will result in the complete shutdown of the operations, resulting into a major business loss. So at such kind of workplaces, great concern has to be taken, and accordingly with a great precautions the work has to be carried out. The next type of work permit is working at height permit. So this type is very much simple for understanding as compared to the first two types. Working at height is the most common source of injury and fatality on construction and industrial sites. Opening a work at heights safety permit slows people down and reduces the chance of silly accidents and falls. So by just observing the diagram, you will understand that the person whenever he is working at a great height, then again at such situations a great care has to be taken. So just like in the figure, you can observe that the person is walking simply without taking any safety measures, and thus this is the worst thing which should be totally avoided. So if the worker is supposed to be carrying out any activity at such particular heights, then before going to carry out that activity, the worker should take the necessary precautions and safety equipments for his own safety. So these were all the important types of work permit. Along with these types, there are few more types, which includes the lift permits, then again cold work permits, electrical permit, radiography permits. So these are the all types of work permit where if the work is critical and seems to be dangerous for performing activity for that worker, then at such places these such kind of documented or authorization from higher authority, which we call it as a work permit or permit to work, this document needs to be taken and provided to the skilled or appropriate person from whom the work is supposed to be completed. So these were the types of work permit along with the examples. With this, we will stop here today, and we will continue with the remaining points from this chapter in the next lecture. So thank you very much.